Hello, I'm Leanne Clemens, the Director of Children's Ministry here at First United Methodist Church in McAllen. I'm so glad to be with you all today. Kids, has God ever spoken to you? It will happen one day if you're really listening. God speaks to us in many different ways. One day, a long time ago, God spoke to a boy named Samuel through a voice he could hear. As soon as Samuel was old enough to feed himself and dress himself, he went to live in the temple with Eli, the priest. Samuel was to stay there with Eli and learn to serve God. Eli taught Samuel how to care for the temple, and he taught him God's law. As Eli got older, his eyes got weaker. He must have been glad to have Samuel there to help him. God must have been happy with Samuel, too. Samuel would sleep in the temple where the Ark of the Covenant was. And remember, that was the gold covenant chest that kept the 10 Commandments. Suddenly, one night, a voice woke Samuel up. Samuel. Someone called out his name. Samuel said, "Here I am." He thought, of course, it must be Eli, because Eli was the only other person there. So he got up and he went to Eli's room. And he said, "Here I am, I heard you call me." Eli did not know what Samuel was talking about. He told Samuel to go back to bed. He didn't call him. So Samuel went back to his bed to go to sleep and get some good rest. Then it happened again, that voice calling out, "Samuel." He was out of bed in a flash, and he scurried back to Eli's room to see what he was needing. It had to be Eli, he thought. Nope. Again, Eli said, "I did not call you. Go back to bed." A third time, that voice called out, "Samuel." And one more time, he went to Eli to see what was going on. Samuel knew he wasn't dreaming. This time, Eli was beginning to figure out that it was God who was calling Samuel. So Eli told Samuel what to do. Go back to bed, and if he calls you again, say, "Speak, Lord, I am listening." And sure enough, it happened again. "Samuel." And Samuel knew this time it was God calling him. He followed Eli's advice, and he answered back to God that his servant was listening. God had a big message for Samuel. It was something that would be hard for him to share with Eli. God told Samuel that Eli's sons were not obeying God's laws. He was not going to let them be priests anymore. Well, it was hard to tell Eli those sad things about his sons, but Samuel shared that news, and Eli listened because he knew that that message had come from God. As Samuel grew up, God gave him more messages to give to the people, and people paid attention. Samuel also continued to listen for God's calling him. I hope you're listening for God. He's calling you too. Take care, be safe, and I'll see you all next week.